Now, your local on the 8s.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under fair skies. A heat advisory is in effect for our area. Here's our local Doppler radar. Partly cloudy, high 89. Winds west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, mainly clear, low 68. Winds west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. On Wednesday, a mix of clouds and sun with a chance of an isolated thunderstorm in the afternoon. Humid, high 92. Chance of rain 30%. The week ahead. Traffic conditions around our area.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Day Planner. I'm Cheryl Lemke along with Carl Parker. And Carl, it's more the same story here for the weather pattern. More high heat, more high humidity, and more stormy weather too to deal with.
A lot of the same stuff. At least that ridge is going to begin to settle down a little bit, so it's not going to be quite as hot in the southern plains, but still very hot, and you're going to be talking about that. And let's take a look at our precip day by day, starting you off with hump day here. We've got another front coming down across the Midwest and into the Northeast. We've had this pattern where you've had successive boundaries dropping down through the Midwest, the legs, the Northeast, and with them you get some slightly drier air, not much change in temperature, although it's generally been cooler across a lot of the upper Midwest, and that coming then into the Northeast tomorrow. So we get some showers in Pittsburgh and also in Binghamton and in Wilkes-Barre and Scranton, and eventually towards the major metros in the Northeast. Notice that we will increase the chance of showers through a lot of the Southeast. Great news. A lot of folks still hoping for rain, and much of the state of Florida covered by rain for the next couple of days. And a big part of that is what we call the sea breeze. How does that work? Well, the sun heats up the water in the land, but land heats up a lot more readily, and so the air over the land really begins to rise more quickly than it does over the water. As a result, you've got a little bit of a vacuum down here underneath that column. That brings in air from the ocean. You get a little boundary along that cooler air, and that is exactly where the showers and the storms fire up. So that is what we will continue to see here in Florida over the next couple of days. Notice on Thursday, a lot of wet weather in a good part of the Southeast. Again, that's good news. Many of you need it. Got rain coming into the Northeast as well, and remember to turn over that standing water in your yard. We've had a couple of reports of West Nile virus and mosquitoes and birds around the Boston area, and now the city of Halifax is threatening to fine you $300 if they find standing water in your yard. They're getting very serious about it. It's a dangerous thing. You know, it's like a flu that goes on for months instead of days. It's a pretty bad thing, so you definitely want to avoid it if you can. There's Friday. Scattered showers and storms in Florida. Things settling down across the country. We've got a couple more boundaries dropping down through the lakes into the Northeast going into the weekend. We still have those showers in the Southwest. That's been around for a long time. That's a seasonal reversal of wind that tends to produce that at this time of the year. Then on Sunday, more showers in the Southwest, a little more rain in Florida, and another boundary will drop down, kind of lay out across the Midwest, and we find some activity there in the Twin Cities, in Chicago, and into Detroit on Monday. Let's talk about temps now. Here's Cheryl with that for us.
And Carl, we are still dealing with some very sizzling, stifling hot weather across the country, and especially so for the south central states, where we had a number of record highs that were set yesterday, including one of the hottest spots around the country, Wichita Falls, Texas, up to a scorching 110 degrees just the other day. So let's check this out. We've got the heat wave still raging on here across the south through midweek, more 90s and more 100s. Actually, across most of the southeast, you'll be seeing highs averaging some 5 to 10 degrees warmer than what it should be. We've got some heat, too, baking the southwest, more triple-digit temperatures from Vegas to Palm Springs, California, on into Phoenix. But I'm sure a lot of you are just sick and tired of all this hot, sticky weather. Well, the place to go might be New England. Check this out for Friday. Highs very comfortable, 70s and 80s around the Champlain Valley on into Vermont and New Hampshire. The Pacific Northwest, too, not looking too shabby with with some 80s around Seattle and Portland. But for much of the country, we really have that summery feel. And all the way through Sunday on into Monday, we still have the 90s bubbling up across the Plain States. Hot weather around Chicago and St. Louis. More sticky, sultry weather too for Birmingham and Atlanta. But some cooler conditions, at least across the mountains in the west. Around Aspen and Vail, you'll be enjoying highs in the 60s for Monday. Carl, what's coming up?
Well, any added rain in the Midwest is bad news for people trying to recover from last month's historic flooding. And Jorma Duran shows us the slow recovery process in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
These days, the only people walking around downtown Cedar Rapids are those working to clean, paint, and make repairs. Last month's record flood put more than 1,000 businesses underwater. The majority of them are still closed, including Smolikoff's furniture store.
We had grandfather clocks.
Teresa Blair tries to explain what the first floor used to look like before it was engulfed by the Cedar River. The water inside the store reached 7 feet 9 inches after breaking through windows and rushing inside. Their offices and everything else on the first floor had to be gutted, but Blair says it's time to move ahead.
We're all done feeling bad. All of our effort and concentration is on moving forward, getting back in, getting customers back in here. We've had a lot of people asking, can we come in and shop yet? So we want to start telling them yes as soon as possible.
Same goes for Paul Sale. His neighborhood pharmacy store in the Czech Village area of Cedar Rapids was also covered with water and quite a mess. It's been a long 6 weeks, but Sale is making progress.
We had everything cleaned out in the first week, and then there's a couple weeks of drying, and then the kind of the political issues of what can be rebuilt or where they're going to allow building permits. We were just allowed to get a building permit finally last week.
So now with the go-ahead from the city, Sale says he's in the process of rebuilding. A temporary location could be ready in a few weeks and a permanent store in just a few months.
We're back to growing again.
A challenging process the city of Cedar Rapids and the Smolikoff furniture family is working towards. In fact, Blair hopes the doors of this furniture business that's been around for 119 years will be back open within the first week of August.
So exciting.
Gas relief products come in 2 types. Those you take after food gives you gas, bloating, discomfort, embarrassment, and it ruins your life. Or take Beano. Tough call. Take Beano before, and they'll be no gas. Now, prevent gas anywhere with new Beano to go.
Call today for the Gold Delta Sky Miles credit card from American Express. And start earning double miles in more places more often. Apply now and get up to 25,000 bonus miles. With award tickets starting at just 25,000 miles, you can fly free sooner. Plus, the annual fee is waived for the first year. Call 1-800-297-7003. Call now for the Gold Delta Sky Miles credit card and earn 2 miles for every eligible dollar you spend for even faster travel awards on Delta and over 15 airline partners. Take advantage of this great offer today and get 25,000 miles closer to a free trip. Plus, enjoy the card with no annual fee for the first year. Call 1-800-297-7003 now.
Excuse me, A1 on a burger?
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Could I borrow that?
Sure.
Thank you.
There ain't no bugs on me. There ain't no bugs on me. There may be bugs on some of you mugs, but there ain't no bugs on me.
Canine Advantix provides gentle, effective protection against disease-spreading pests, so you know they're protected wherever they go. Now get 1 month free. Ask your veterinarian for a free tube today.
Yeah, there may be bugs on some of you mugs, but there ain't no bugs on me.
Is there a future meteorologist in your house? Send us a video of your kid doing the weather. They could be showcased at weather.com. Your junior forecaster can win you a trip for 4 to visit the Weather Channel's new HD studio. Go to weather.com/KidCast for details.
Closed captioning hours on the Weather Channel brought to you by Activon. Activon, powerful pain relief. The power of Activon Pain Relief is now available in a convenient patch. Safe and effective relief of joint pain, muscle pain, backache, arthritis. Activon Ultra Strength Medicated Patch in stores now.
Spend your night with Evening Edition. Weeknights on the Weather Channel. Now, your local on the 8s.
Currently, the temperature is 80 degrees under fair skies. A heat advisory is in effect for our area. Here's our local Doppler radar. Today, partly cloudy, high 89. Winds west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, mainly clear, low 68. Winds west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. On Wednesday, a mix of clouds and sun with a chance of an isolated thunderstorm in the afternoon. Humid, high 92. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Hi everyone, welcome back. We are seeing the first signs of some stormy weather with some thunder showers right now stretching from Texas through the heart of Oklahoma and extending as far north as Nebraska and Kansas. Now keep in mind that some of these thunderstorms, although they're not really reaching severe limits just yet, they could really get cranking later on today, and we could be dealing with some large hailstones and very damaging winds here across the nation's midsection. And for more than potential for stormy weather, let's turn it back over now to Carl with more details.
Yeah, once again here, Cheryl, we've got storms coming down across the middle of the country, another front dropping into the middle of the nation. We've seen this pattern for a long time now with a ridge in the southern plains and then a general area of troughiness across the lakes and the northeast. So that brings down these little bouts of slightly cooler and drier air. Not a whole lot of cooling here, but slightly cooler and drier air getting down into the lakes. And we've got some showers and storms firing along that boundary. It was a very stormy morning this morning. And then right in here, you've got some enhancement, some added moisture because of what is left of Hurricane Dolly, if you can believe it. It's still going in the middle of the country. I'm sure a lot of weather systems are like that. We just don't keep track of them as much as we do old tropical systems. Here, a lot of rain into parts of Texas this morning, north of I-20. These storms generally settling down, but still a lot of very heavy rain that is slowly moving eastward. There's the broader view for you. It's dropping down from Lawton here and getting up into Oklahoma City. Certainly could be some storms in Dallas and Fort Worth later today. That'd be a good thing. We'd like it to cool things off. Boy, it's been so hot there over the last several days. And in Amarillo last night, boy, we got some really stormy weather. 106-mile-an-hour wind along with those storms that came through about 7:30 last night. Notice that we've got some wet weather now coming up into Kansas. This is part of that parent circulation, that mid-level circulation that still remains from Hurricane Dolly. So it's likely to be a pretty rainy day today, up and down 35 from Wichita into Kansas City. Kansas City, probably a lot of rain for you, and eventually we'll see those showers moving into Omaha and Lincoln. Some light showers in the region right now. Up into Wisconsin, we do have a warning on that cell. Heads up there in Wausau. Don't know if that's going to drop down into your area or not, but it's going to come close, maybe just to your north. Could be some wind or hail along with that. And of course, we have the big air show in Oshkosh today, Air Venture Oshkosh. 650,000 people descending on Oshkosh for this week, and a lot of wonderful planes to see, including the Raptor and the Osprey and the U-2. And we've got a few showers there right now, and there certainly could be more showers and storms getting into the afternoon. So make sure and tune in, and we'll let you know how that's all going to develop. So here's what's happening for your forecast today. There's again the Dolly remnant low as it moves up through the middle of the country, adding moisture to this front. So we think this front is really going to light up. Getting into this afternoon could be a pretty active time for a lot of the plains and the Midwest. That'll continue into the western lakes by late tonight. Could be some showers in Chicago later today, and certainly across the lakes as well. And into the southeast, we're going to increase the chance of rain. Moisture is going to be surging northward across a lot of the southeast, and that's going to bring up that humidity. We add some sunshine, get the daytime heating, and we see a chance of showers and storms. So that's really going to flare up today, but it will continue into Wednesday and continue into Thursday. So we've got a pretty good chance of rain for those drought areas for the next few days. Wonderful news there, but a lot of rain also for those of you who may be vacationing here down into, say, Orlando at the theme parks. Could be storms every afternoon this week, so make sure once again to check us to see what's going on before you go out and head to the parks. So that is a look at the wet weather across a lot of the country. Let's talk now about the heat, and Cheryl's got that story for us.
And let's check out that summer sizzle. And we first of all take you to Washington, D.C., where right now we're seeing some hazy sunshine out there. And we are seeing some very muggy conditions too, as you can see the president having a speech there. Around Washington, D.C. this morning, again, hazy conditions. Currently the temperature 82 degrees, but temperatures will skyrocket today into the lower 90s. And when you combine the heat with the humidity, of course, feeling much more sticky, more sultry than that. So it's going to be pretty uncomfortable to be out and about today around the nation's capital. And it's just not Washington, D.C. Much of the country will certainly be feeling that summer heat. And especially across the south central states, we're a part of a Century Club, a club that you may not necessarily want to be a part of, because today we'll be seeing highs into the triple digits from Memphis to Shreveport back over towards the Big D, Dallas, Texas. And for Dallas, it's been really unusually hot all summer long. We typically average only about 8 days with temperatures above the century mark for Dallas, but thus far this year, 18 days. So it's been really unusually hot here across the Lone Star State. And besides seeing all the hot weather, very sticky. We have some high dew points, some high humidity, making it feel even more oppressive. And right now for Memphis, when you're stepping outside, it feels like 102 degrees. So quite uncomfortable walking along Beale Street this afternoon. More blistering heat too around the Shreveport area. And all these areas shaded in the orange here, this is where we have heat advisories in effect today, including Shreveport, Tyler and Lemke, Texas, back towards Tupelo, Mississippi, and Jackson. You'll certainly be feeling that summer heat. But what's ironic, even though it will be hot across the south, one place to go to escape the heat has been the Pacific Northwest. Check this out. A cold front ripping through the area today will be driving in some cooler conditions and a chance to see some scattered showers. And at least for the next few days out, around Seattle and Portland, we've got high 60s and 70s, averaging about 15 degrees or so, cooler than normal for some of you. So definitely a nice change of pace here across the Pacific Northwest. So let's check on the numbers right now across the country. What can we expect for today? It will be a hot one, especially across the south. 90s and 100s quite common, but cooler across the north. Carl, what's coming up next?
Well, will the rain and storms slow you down in sections of the Midwest today? We'll check out the travel trouble areas next. And the flood threat continues in Taiwan from Tropical Storm Feng Wong. We've got an update on that coming right up.
It isn't like the apple juice you've always known. It doesn't look like the apple juice you've always known, or taste like it. It tastes like biting into a crisp, juicy, perfectly ripe apple. Yeah, we thought you'd like that. 100% pure pressed Simply Apple. Honestly simple.
Also be sure to try Simply Lemonade and Simply Limeade.
When you have way to save from Wachovia, saving is easy. With every Wachovia Visa check card purchase or online bill pay, $1 is transferred from your free checking to a high-interest savings account. Plus, you can earn up to $300 just for saving. And that sure beats saving change. Are you with Wachovia?
So, we got a sitter for 3 hours.
And we went to buy carpet at Lowe's. Turns out they got this great new way to buy carpet.
So easy.
We went for the Berber.
And cranberry?
With a 20-year warranty. Isn't that great?
So, do you want to see a movie or what?
You bet!
New Lowe's Carpet 123. Just pick your style, your color, and your warranty.
So, you're all set?
We're done?
We got a sitter.
Lowe's, let's build something together.
Tonight on Evening Edition, recovery on the river. An exclusive live report from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Nearly 2 months after tumultuous floods caused $1 billion in damage.
I can't save it now. It's all gone to hell.
Don't miss Evening Edition, tonight at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Stay tuned. We're local on the 8s, brought to you by the Dow Chemical Company. Finding the bond between chemistry and humanity.
We have only to look into each other's eyes to see the story of our planet. A few simple truths. The way hydrogen bonds with oxygen, the cadence and order of things, have lived there from the beginning. But if we change perspective and consider the notion of adding the human element to the periodic table of the elements, we learn the secret to a better life. The story of a planet where chemistry embraces humanity.
Spend your night with Evening Edition, weeknights on the Weather Channel. Now, your local on the 8s.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under sunny skies. A heat advisory is in effect for our area. Here's our local Doppler radar. Today, partly cloudy, high 89. Winds west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, mainly clear, low 68. Winds west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. On Wednesday, a mix of clouds and sun with a chance of an isolated thunderstorm in the afternoon. Humid, high 92. Chance of rain 30%. Our 7-day outlook.